I sat down with director Deepa Mehta to discuss her new film, Midnight's Children. Adapted from a Salman Rushdie novel, it's the epic story of a boy who was born within minutes of India gaining independence from Britain in 1947. Now, along with exploring the history of the time across generations, it explores themes of family, love, and a little bit of magic.
I read the book in 1982, Midnight's Children. I remember reading it and being totally blown away. And the reason I was blown away was that it, what Salman Rushdie has done with the book Midnight's Children is actually written a modern day epic of post-colonial India. But he's done it through the eyes of a coming of age of a young man who was also born at the stroke of midnight, the very moment India got its independence from Britain. So it works on two levels: the coming of age of a country and the coming of age of a young man.
I know there's some little bit of worries too about the government finding out about the production.
We didn't even know what was happening, and we were shooting like 3 weeks in, and then suddenly we were called by one day saying that you cannot shoot. This was in Sri Lanka, and we said why, and they said because the Iranian government has objected to a book by Salman Rushdie, and Midnight's Children is not banned, and it's just made no sense. But 3 days later, the president of Sri Lanka said this is all rubbish, and I refuse to be bullied, and he tore that away, and off we were again.
The opening of the film, kind of going through the family history, the family story, the different generations. How important is it to share one's family history with future generations?
I think it's very essential that we are what we are because what we were. Our history informs our present. Whether it's you sitting across me or me sitting across you, I'm not just merely here without a series of events that made it possible for me to be here.
There also seems to be a little bit of an emphasis on saying that it's not necessarily your family has to be tied to your bloodlines.
Absolutely.
It's all about
true.
making your own family.
Thematically, the film is definitely about search for a home, search for a family, search for identity. It isn't necessarily about immigrants. I mean, you could be from Vancouver and you come to Thunder Bay. You're going to be not only in a different environment, also with the different people. And our families sometimes do not belong to our bloodline. The families that we make, and sometimes those ties are much stronger.
What do you want Canadian audiences to take away from this movie? What can they learn from this movie?
I think a good story, a historical story, wants you to learn more about the history, because finally I believe that this might be a particular film about India, but its theme is universal, because the theme is about family, love, bloodlines, the search for a home. You don't have to be an Indian to know what that means. So maybe what I'd like people to know is that really emotionally we're all connected.
You can catch Deepa's new film, Midnight's Children, in theaters November 2nd.